Now, welcome to another Weekend Ramble, where I think this time we're going to discuss our thoughts
and predictions
for the final. That wasn't planned. For the final episode of Andor.
I mean, we're rounding the corner here. Our new favorite Star Wars series is coming to an end.
Sadly and excitedly at the same time.
I still don't know if it's my favorite. I mean, I like Mando quite a bit.
Favorite. I'm going to say it's my favorite.
It's so good.
It's different from The Mandalorian, but I think in some ways it's better. Some ways The Mandalorian, I think, is better. But I think if I had to pick my favorite, I'm sorry. Mando has been dethroned.
Wow.
I know.
Too bad you only get 2 seasons.
Not enough people watching yet. Though maybe by next season, it'll kind of, after the fact, aftershocks, and people will find it and discover it and really like it.
Well, our last episode, we had a progress report as to where all of our characters currently are. So now we can guess as to where they're going to end up at the end of Season 1. Or possibly farther. Who knows?
Yeah, we can kind of dip maybe into Season 2 where they might end up. I don't know. I mean, some of them we know where they're going to end up.
Well, I think the runtime for the last episode is just under an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping it'd be longer. I mean, that's fine. It's better than the last episode. We're in a mood today, aren't we?
I don't know.
Not enough sleep. This is what happens when you don't sleep. Weird things are... That's why I've said I should wake you up at 3 in the morning and record. Because
but I'm still awake.
People would... That's kind of the problem right now, isn't it? But anyway...
Onto the characters?
Onto the characters.
Let's start with the most obvious solution, I feel like. Mon Mothma. Goodbye, daughter.
She gives her daughter up. Her daughter is kind of... Because we saw in that last episode, her daughter gives her this kind of like spiteful and hateful look. She, hugs Auntie Vel.
You hate my tradition.
Well, yeah. Well, she hugs Vel and so excited to see her. And then at the same time, she's giving like this glare to her mom. And so I think there's this rift that they've intentionally, obviously, shown between them. And oddly enough, when Mon says, we're going to introduce you to this boy, I think this is going to be like a bridge between them, which is going to even tear out Mon's heart even more.
Mm-hmm. Because this is not what she wanted to do.
This is not the bridge you want to build, no.
Because she doesn't want her daughter to be in love with these traditions that she so abhors.
Yeah. And so it's going to, like I said, they're setting it up perfectly here, right?
But it's going to get Mon out of trouble. She'll do the introduction. She'll be saved by our new gangster friend.
Davo.
Yeah, I was just not going to say it because I'll call him something wrong again.
You'll call him something from Knights of the Old Republic. Yeah.
She'll get saved by Old Republic.
Yeah.
Dava Kang.
He comes back from the past to save Mon Mothma. It's a wild, unpredictable ending.
Yes. And then she'll go into Season 2 with a heavy heart, but protected a little bit longer from the ISB and whoever would find out her financial secrets.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen with I don't know if they're going to get into it, the Krieger incident in Saw, his decision?
Well, I mean, I think they kind of agreed. I don't know how much the agreement means, but it seemed Luthen and Saw agreed to let Krieger be on his own. So, I mean, it could be...
But Saw's a wild card. I mean, he decided after, over and over again, I won't help Krieger. He was a separatist. And he's like, hey, I'm suiting up right now. Let's go. We're going to help Krieger.
So it could be not addressed at all. It could be kind of addressed in passing that, the ISB has, apprehended or destroyed a rebel cell or something along those lines.
Uh-huh.
Or it could be that Saw goes and helps, which might kind of work because they might just assume they didn't know the whole details of the plan.
Yeah, they didn't know how many people were going to be there, so they're planning for X amount of group, and then Saw's group shows up would muddy the waters for the intel they had.
Because it says one thing if Krieger doesn't show up. It says... well, we might have a problem. We might have a mole who warned him. It's another thing if extras show up that they weren't expecting.
Right. That just means that pilot they interrogated didn't have all the facts.
Yeah, exactly.
They weren't expecting the partisans to show up.
Yeah, they might still sniff something out or think they smell something afoul, but...
but it's at least covered a little bit better.
It's a little more... yeah, there's a little more cover there. Well, they had an extra unit we didn't know or that the pilot didn't know about.
Everything else kind of starts tying together. We've got
the Ferrix
situation.
Yeah, since everybody's kind of colliding.
Because I don't think we're going to hear from Melchi again this season. I think he's off to start his.
He's to spread the word.
Campaign of awareness.
I do think we'll see him again in the series.
I think he'll
to move
pop
to
up
season
in season
2 for a moment. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There's no way you're going to set him up this much to not have him pop up again. And considering we know this is going to lead right into Rogue One, and he kind of kicks off Rogue One by finding Jyn.
Yes, he's the one who rescues her. Yeah. With K2. He brings K2 with him, which kind of continues the thread of, Cassian's friend and Melchi. His droid's going with him.
Yeah, so I certainly see Melchi being in season 2, but I don't think we'll see him next week.
No. All right, the Ferrex situation, a.k.a. the funeral.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, this is going to be a jam-packed episode, and I have a theory, and you probably have a theory of how this is going to go. First off, 100% Cassian shows up.
Yes, though it would be the twist, wouldn't it, if Cassian doesn't show up at all? Everything else happens and Cassian's not there. I don't think that'll happen, but I wouldn't say it's impossible, only because the series has been so kind of, you know, I don't want to say unpredictable completely, but, you know, it kind of goes in different directions at times. Do
you think Cinta will help him?
Well, it's kind of weird,
right? The ISB officer guy and Cinta are both watching for Cassian. Depending on which one sees him first, she could actually, instead of just doing her job, she could feel some maybe pity. I mean, he just lost his family.
Maybe?
I don't know. I'm almost wondering what she will do. She's either going to try and take the shot at Cassian, or she could help me, like, hey, your friend Bix was taken? Somebody has to tell her about Bix.
I think he's going to get back to town, quote unquote, back to the planet, and he's gonna seek one of these people out. I'm not sure which one it'll be. I mean, he's probably going to try to find Bix, which is stupid because
he doesn't know Bix is gone yet.
Yeah, he doesn't know exactly what Bix is going through, and that she would be a connection. You know, he's not going to understand everything, so he's probably going to seek her out first and be like, "Where's Bix?"
And then find Brasso.
Yeah, and I think Brasso's going to be the one. I think Brasso dies. I think a lot of people are going to die in this episode. Quite honestly,
I think this is going to be a horrific incident. Yes. Yeah. I think a lot of these people are not going to make it out of here. This is going to spark a heart of rebellion in this group, and they're going to get mowed down for it.
Yeah, I truly believe that. Sadly, I mean, but that's kind of, these are the events that Luthen's talking about, right? These big events that are just going to push people further. Well, not that the Empire won't try to cover it up and blame it on the people or whatever else it might be, but the truth will.
So do you think Cinta will try and take the shot? I mean, she's got to keep him away from that the ISB there.
Yeah, who's not being... he's not being rather obvious. We watched it again.
He's not so good at...
And you're like, well, look how obvious he's being right in front of Cinta. Cinta knows this guy's ISB or Imperial at the very least.
She knows at least that he's watching.
Yeah.
And that he's not being watched by Luthen, because Luthen would have probably told her that he had somebody else watching too.
So it's not impossible that she takes him out if Cassian shows up or something, and then I don't know what's going to happen there. Cinta feels like a big wild card.
She is, because she, in our opinion, killed that family. So what's to stop her from taking out Cassian the moment she sees him?
Yeah,
but she doesn't want to blow her own cover either.
Yeah, I mean, why do you think Cinta was sent? Always got to be a cat appearance in every video.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think so. I disagree with you about Cinta. She's evil to the core. No, I'm kidding.
Yes, Yuna, you can watch the show too.
Yes, you can make your predictions later. But I think Cinta is clearly sent on these type of missions because she's the one who's going to carry them out.
She really disagrees with you, but...
I know she does. She really likes Cinta.
Luthen, do you think he shows up on Ferrex? I think he does.
I thought that was kind of what was implied. Now, I thought
think he's going to Ferrex for 100%. I'm pretty sure he's going.
Yeah, I kind of thought he was going there to maybe take out Cassian if he shows up. And you pointed out that Bix is just as big, if not a bigger liability. Bix is, another person who has seen him face to face and would know a lot about him.
Not to mention, Cyril could hear Luthen speak, because Cyril's going there too.
Yeah.
We're bringing all of our cast together.
Yeah, it's the Convergence episode.
Cyril could come across Luthen again. I mean, this is the episode that could blow Luthen's cover. He might not be able to go to the shop after this.
Is Luthen not in season 2? Is this the end of Luthen?
I don't think so. I think he's got a bigger part to play connecting the pieces.
Potentially?
I do. I think he has a bigger part to play in this yet. I think he's going to be, a piece that connects Cassian to the rest of the rebels. Cassian has no, in with any of them but with Luthen.
Well, there's Vel. It's not that they all don't want to kill him, but...
But we don't know if Vel's got a connection to the rebellion outside of Luthen.
I think Vel dies in this episode. I think Luthen will live. I think Vel is going to be the surprise kind of death of the...
Really?
Kind of this core.
We don't even know if Vel's going to go.
Yeah, she is. We actually do know for when we saw her in the trailer. Spoiler alert. And I think she did imply she was going there, right? I think she's going there for Cinta, which makes sense.
Yes.
But I think one of those two, I think Cinta or Val, kind of might be a little cliche, but I think one of them is going to die in this episode.
Well, because unfortunately we kind of need to keep it grounded in reality, which means people will die. Not all of your characters are going to make it out of everything.
What?
Yeah.
But I saw Rebels. We make it out each and every week after a big attack or whatever it might be. Except for when, there are a couple deaths in it. Yes, I'm joking.
But yeah, Cyril and Bix are both in a position to identify Luthen, who might be walking around on the ground there. And that's super dangerous because I think he's going to get exposed, and he's going to be on the run after this.
Yeah, because he can't go back to his shop anymore if they identify him.
And hopefully he gets a chance to warn Clea.
That could be interesting. What if they kind of catch Luthen or know it's Luthen and then immediately raid his shop and it's Clea
who takes the fall and gets captured.
Gets captured and tortured and becomes the next Bix.
Ugh. I don't even want to think about that. Because I like Clea. She's the one who's always trying to keep him grounded in a way. Because his morals will start creeping up. She's like, no, you remember why you were in this. I know it's horrible, but she's the one who's
she's
reminding him to be cold.
Yeah.
Reminding him to try and be detached, that the more he gets involved, the more at risk they are.
Which makes you wonder, what's her story? Like, we always talk about what's Luthen's story, but what is her story, too? She's even colder than Luthen in some ways,
it feels like. Because she's keeping him cold. She's reminding him, in a way, of why this has to be done this way.
She puts him in the freezer every time he starts to thaw a little.
It's like she's the logical one. Every now and again, his heart creeps back up, and she's like, no, you gotta keep logical on this, or we're all in trouble.
Yeah, turn the radio off, or,
Turn the radio off.
Turn it off.
Don't go after Andor. Just come home.
Yep.
What are you doing? You're putting yourself at risk. You're putting us at risk. You're putting everything you've built at risk.
Well, that's true, too. Like, she has to look at it. It's her life, too. Like, if he screws up, like, she's pretty screwed, too.
Mm-hmm. I mean, will they believe her if she tries to say that she's just a shop attendant?
No.
No, they're never going to believe her. Never. The ISB doesn't believe stuff like that. They're like, nah, you knew him. You know something.
Yeah.
Plus, they'll find the hidden radio and stuff. She might have to get a notice and immediately try and, like, fire burn the place and run. But Cassian, I think he's going to escape. Whatever trap is set here for him.
Well,
I think he's taking Bix with him. I think he's going to save her some way, somehow. And that's how it's going to be.
I think there's almost no way Cassian ends up captured again.
No, that would be a little cheesy. He just got out of jail.
Yeah, I mean, though this time they would know who they have, and then there's really no hope or escape. Right?
Unless he gets momentarily captured and Luthen frees him, because Luthen's Luthen, Syntha, and Val work together, free him, because they're like, he can identify us, and then they find out Cyril can identify them anyway, and Cyril gets his dream fulfilled. He is finally of use to Deidre.
That is
his holy beacon of light.
I don't know if I call her holy, but
to him.
I know. But no, I think
she is sacrosanct.
Yes. But I think there's no way Andor ends up captured again. I think, as you say, there might be a point where it looks like he's going to be and gets saved. I think he's going for Bix. I think, as we talked about before, he gets to the planet, he looks for Bix, finds out that she is, in custody, and then he uses the funeral as a distraction because he figures everybody's going to wait for him at the funeral, and he saves Bix that way.
I hope. And I hope he takes B with him. I think B might get damaged. Poor little B. I think B's going to get damaged trying to protect Cassian, or just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And I think Cassian's going to grab some sort of modular or something from him, his processing core, and I think that's going to be the heart of K2.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty solid theory.
At least that's what I want, because I can't bear to have him gone anymore. Poor little B.
Well, he's going to die in K2.
I know, but once again, he's sacrificing himself. The heart that K2 has, I feel like it comes from B2.
Okay. K2, B2. Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kidding. That's probably just coincidence.
Yeah. But those are my predictions. I don't think we're getting any more of the sister storyline. I think they're safe. Or maybe at the end, it's just a tale of, we will find my sister. I need to find my only family, or something. Yeah. Just so you know where he wants to do. I don't know. Maybe that's what tell Luthen he's going to do. Who knows?
Yeah, but is Luthen going to... I mean, is this where Luthen... Maybe Andor saves Luthen. That could be an interesting twist.
It could be.
Because, if Luthen's
he saves Luthen. He sees Luthen taken into custody. He saves him, or Cinta's like, hey, you got to help me. They save him, and they find Bix as well in custody.
It could be. It could be that Luthen is the one who gets saved by Andor, which will, make Luthen actually trust him.
Right, and then maybe, he's like, I guess I won't kill him now.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll help you with
We got to end that, right? If Cassian's going to become some kind of member of Luthen's team at all, Luthen has to stop wanting to kill him at some point. It's kind of a problem. But yeah, I think Bix will be right. I know a lot of people think Bix is going to be killed. I think Bix gets rescued and she never gets over it. I've seen some really interesting theories about what might become of Bix after all of this torture, but I think she certainly lives through this episode.
I think she's going to make it to season 2.
Yeah. There are also some theories out there that say that Marva isn't actually dead, which I think is a bit strange and not something the show would do.
I don't think so. I mean, they've set up her passing for a while. Cassian was complaining about how cold it was in there. Hey, you're going to get sick. You're going to get sick.
Yeah, and then she got sick.
And that was before they were looking there and watching her.
Yeah, I mean, I know she wanted to, do her part for the rebellion, though I don't know what this would actually do. I mean, is she planning to lure Cassian home? And if so, why?
Why, exactly?
I mean, I don't know where that would go, I guess, what her line of thinking would be there.
There would have to be some really crazy reason as to why Marva would fake her own death.
I mean, does she think there can be a rescue at Bix, and she's trying to, like what
but
we
she
said
wasn't
to Cassian.
looking good before Bix was taken.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying. I've seen several people kind of throw that out there, and I'm just I don't think the show would do that. It feels very cliche to be like, ha, I'm not dead.
I think Kenobi would have done it.
I'm just saying. I was about to say, especially in Star Wars, we don't need another character like, hey, they're dead, and not really.
Yeah, I don't think that's where they're gonna go.
No. All right. Well, I think that's all we got for you this time. So it's your turn to now take to the comments below. Tell us how you think this episode, or this season, I should say, is going to end. Tell us what do you think happens to all these characters. And so, again, leave those comments below. Let's talk some Star Wars. And until next time, thanks for watching.